Hello, my friend. This is Pastor Mayor Luis Vieira in Ashboro Salvation Army. I want to share with you today a little bit more quiet. This is more a lecture, and I hope that I give you some ideas and some information that is going to be interesting for you. I have in my hand one of my key book when I study the Passion and Suffering of Jesus. The Arco volume. You can write it there. The Arco volume. This book is a compilation of articles, and it's very interesting. I cannot, explain you everything, but if you are interested in buy the book, it's in the internet, and I think that you can get it. But subject like where this record were discovered. For example, the articles that I'm gonna be reading today, the report of Caiaphas to the Sanedrim concerning the execution of Jesus. This is a letter that Caiaphas sent to the Sanedrim in order to get the green light from his board, let's put it that way, from the people that he served, because he cannot make that decision like alone. So he needs the support of the important key leaders in the temple and in the religious community in order to proceed and make possible the execution of Jesus. It was not an easy decision. And I'm going to be reading this article. I hope that you get interested. So, Jonathan interview with the Bethlehem shepherds, report of Caiaphas to the Sanedrim before the death of Jesus, and also a report of Caiaphas after the resurrection, and Herod Antipater defense before the Roman. They have a letter here of Gamaliel interview to Mary and Joseph. It's a very interesting apocrypha, let's put it that way, lecture. You cannot take it as a word of the Lord, but it's in very good context of the narrative of the Bible. But before I just get technical and read, bear with me the reading. We left Jesus yesterday. Today is Tuesday. Saturday, Bethania. Remember the passage, Mark. We are using the book of Mark to follow the journey of the last week. Everything starts on Mark 11. So he went to Jerusalem, entered to Jerusalem on Sunday, 3-4 o'clock, late afternoon, the procession, all of the Chihi, Messiah, Hosanna, Hosanna. He looked at the temple at 5:30, 6 o'clock. Probably was not too much business there, so he went to Bethania. In the way to Bethania, he, teach the disciple. And then in the morning, Monday, he wake up with the disciples, and then in the way to Jerusalem, he cursed the fig tree. This is the video that I posted. In fact, I posted 2 videos. So after they curse the fig tree, then they arrive to the temple mid in the morning, 9:30, 10 o'clock, and it was in full. All the market, sacrifices, movement, visitors, more than 200,000 visitors visit pilgrim to Jerusalem. And so it was a very, very large crowd that it was gathering in all the city of Jerusalem, and the temple, I think, it was very busy. So during that Monday that Jesus energetically flip up all the tables at the temple, yes, he started the controversies and have the conversation with the Greeks, pilgrims from probably Jewish, that they were more Greek adapted to the Gnosticism culture, Greek cultural speaking, but they had the root in the Judaism, and that's what the book of John called them, the Greeks. Probably people with more open mind, I would say more open mind. So he spent the day here and controversies. Then in the afternoon, he went back to Bethania and spent the night. And then today, Tuesday, we're going to pick up Tuesday in chapter 11. I think that is chapter 11, yes. On chapter 11, we pick up again Tuesday on verse 20, 11:20. So he finished the day on Tuesday, verses 11, 12, 15, 18, 19. That evening, Jesus and his disciple left the city. Monday. Verse 20, chapter 11. The next morning, as they passed by the fig tree, so he cursed the fig tree on Monday. Next day, he finished the sermon. Remember that he started in the temple, the cleansing of the temple, the appearance, the hypocrisy, and he used the fig tree as a metaphor. The fig tree, we are that fig tree, men's, and the temple represents the institution. So we discussed that in part 1 and 2 of the Monday, the Holy Monday. And Tuesday start on verse 20. That next morning, as they passed by the fig tree that he had cursed, the disciple noticed that it was withered from the root up. So then he explained about having faith in God, and verses 22 through 26. And after that, this Tuesday is most difficult day in the week that Jesus had. That Tuesday, he's building up the hatred of the religious curia, Pharisees, Sadducees, the leaders, Caiaphas, the Sanedrim. When he entered in Jerusalem, he flipped up the table. He started to contradict the tradition of the Judaism, and he started to debate with the people there. So Jesus started to build up, and I want you to pay attention to Caiaphas. I am not justifying Caiaphas, but I want you to see probably something that hopefully is nothing that's gonna complicate your life, but it's interesting. This is Caiaphas writing to the Sanedrim. He introduced Caiaphas. I'm gonna try to read as best I can. Caiaphas, priest of the most highest of God, to the masters of Israel, greeting. In obedience to your demand for a reason for my action in this case of Jesus of Nazareth, and in defense of my conduct, I beg leave to submit the following for your consideration. I will assure you that it was not on an account of personal malice, of envy, or hate that exists in my own nature, not for the want of a willingness upon my part to conform to the Jewish law in its strictest sense. I had but very little personal knowledge of the Nazarene. The most I knew of this man was from outside sources, nor was it because he claimed to be king of the Jews, nor because he said he was the Son of God. I would that he were, not because he prophesied or ignored the holy temple. No, nor all of this combined. This is a cause and a more weighty matter. Back of all these things that control my action in the matter, therefore, I hope you will investigate strictly on legal principle the reason that I may give. So he's building his case against Jesus. And I'm going to read here and there and there. I don't pretend to read the whole 7 or 8 full pages, but I'm going to read the underline that I put together. Caiaphas said about Jesus, he called himself Eloi, which means Almighty in strength, that he can do what he will without effort, that he does the greatest thing as easy as he does the least. This make him different from all beings. So Caiaphas saying he's calling himself different. Okay. Jesus, say Caiaphas, called himself the Son of God, claimed to have been born of Almah, the Hebrew word for virgin, that he and his father are one, they are equal. This thing will establish the following conclusion. If he is right, his father is false. If they were one, then their teaching would be one. And if his teaching are true, God's must be wrong, or there are not those perfection in him that we learn in pronouncing his holy name. By tolerating the teaching of Jesus, we said, Caiaphas said to the Sanedrim, we say to the Roman that all of our former teachings are false, that the Hebrews' God is not to be trusted. He continued to build his case. And then he turned to the temple. And he said about the temple is the bond of the Jews. Here all men can come and be blessed. It is the early home of the soul of man, the place where men may hide from the storm of sin and persecution. This temple is where the foolish may learn wisdom, the place where the naked soul can be clothed, and where the hungry may be fed. This the grandest gift of our Father. Jesus completely ignored this temple. Say the priests have made it a den of thieves and set up a snare and even scoff at its sacred ordinance, and with a sort of selfish triumph say it shall be destroyed. So he's building the argument that because Jesus is using the metaphor, this temple need to be destroyed and in 3 days I will rebuild it. See, they were completely blind. Jesus was not talking about the physical temple, but they took it as literally. My argument, say Caiaphas, is if this temple is destroyed or even forsaken by the Jews, we as nation are utterly ruined. We might as well put our neck under the feet of idolatry and give up all hope. One more subject I place before my master of Israel, the Sanedrim. Is it compatible with our religion, or is it consistent with philosophy, or admitted in his holy word that there can be more God than one? So if Jesus is claiming, say Caiaphas, that he's God to God, that's in the first and second century Christology was one of the most difficult doctrine to establish, the doctrine of the divinity and the humanity of Christ, the double nature in one person, one essence. So, two nature in one person. So it was difficult the first and second, even the third century in the Nicaea Council in 325, consolidated in 381 in the Constantinople Council, where the Christology was consolidated. And this is why, I am not defending Caiaphas. Don't make no mistake. This is not what I'm saying. But this is a Jesus who appeared to the religious, organized structure and say, I am God. You need to worship me because I am the way to the Father. And these people, they did not get the nature and the understanding of what mission Christ was about. Caiaphas, rational, said, could I stand as the priest of the Most High God and see your blessed religion perverted by an impostor? Could I stand and see the holy temple of our God deserted and forsaken? Could I stand and see all the holy ordinance which had been appointed by our God for securing salvation to Israel perverted by an impostor? So Caiaphas is calling Jesus an impostor. And he continued his defense. It's a good reading here, but I just want to outline to create in you that some intrigue. So, what we have here so far is that Caiaphas have to prove that Jesus was guilty of destroying the religion. Let me turn on this light that he turned off. Okay. Caiaphas want to destroy the testimony of the goodness of Jesus by embracing the dead structure of the Judaism, the ceremonial religion. This is what they build the case against Jesus to destroy, to kill Jesus in front of the Roman authorities. So they need to prove among themselves. so they can build the case what we had done with this prophet was proper because we are protecting our religion, our institution, in the front of this Roman authority. So this is the case that potentially Caiaphas in his palace is discussing with his board in his palace. And I think that he called several meetings with the Sanedrim and the Curia, the religious leader, even the Pharisees, the Sadducees. You know, it's like to bring together, you know, two opposite rivals. And then they were in agreement, in this case, of Jesus. And religious leader, Sanedrim, master of the law, interpreters, Sadducees, Pharisees, they have to have some argument. And Caiaphas, hopefully you are interested. Get it? Having a blessing for me, this reading. God bless you. I am not defending Caiaphas, of course not. There are many Caiaphas, scholars, individuals, people who have a great knowledge, a great intelligence, a great reputation today, but they don't get it. They think that Jesus was and is an impostor. I believe that Jesus Christ is the Lord of our creation. He is the one who died, who suffered, who came back from the dead to fulfill the promise, the commitment, the covenant that he made with Adam and Eve, with Abraham, with Moses, with the prophet, that he carried on that master plan, Jesus Christ, along with the divine counsel, so we can accept and be redeemed for eternity by accepting the Lord Jesus Christ. We'll see you. We're going to continue. Today's Tuesday, and this is part 1, and part 2 I'm going to be developing the themes of what Jesus was doing on Tuesday. God bless you. Remember, Pastor Mayor Vieira, Ashboro Salvation Army. God bless you. Bye.